There's a report up on prisonplanet.com from Daniel Estulin. Leaked agenda. Bilderberg Group plans economic depression. Elitists divided on whether to quickly sink economy and replace it with New World Order or set in motion long, agonizing depression. Well, they've already implemented the long, agonizing depression, and I will tell you that is the game plan. But remember, Tucker was able to say they were going to have a stage falling of the Berlin Wall next year from Bilderberg. They were able to say Bush is going to sign on to Kyoto and say he believes in man-made global warming. And most of the Republican Party is. And they did months after that was reported in 2007 from Istanbul, Turkey. That's an end game. And then we told you in 2008 it was going to be Barack Obama. He was there. They literally kidnapped the press. They told him, get on a plane, get on Obama's campaign plane. He's about to be here. Get on Hillary's plane. They're all going to Chicago. And then suddenly Obama wasn't on the plane. They locked the doors and took off. And the press secretary said, oh, he's in a secret meeting. Then they took the media on a goose chase to 3 different houses. Dianne Feinstein and others weren't there. Well, we contacted the media and said, they're right here. Media didn't care, wouldn't report on it. That's why the Obama deception is so important. So I'm going to read this article coming up at the bottom of the hour, but it's up on prisonplanet.com right now. On the eve of the 2009 Bilderberg Group conference, which is due to be held at the 5-star Palace Hotel in Greece, investigators reporter Daniel Estulin has uncovered shocking details of what the elitists plan to do with the economy over the course of the next year. The Bilderberg Group meeting is an annual confab of around 150 of the world's most influential power brokers in government, industry, banking, media, academia, and military-industrial complex. The secretive group operates under Chatham House rules, meaning that no details of what is discussed can ever be leaked to the media, despite editors of the world's biggest newspapers, the Washington Post, the New York Times, and Financial Times of London, being present at the meetings. According to Estulin's sources, that would add, have always been impeccable, which have proven highly accurate in the past. Bilderberg is divided on whether to put into motion either a prolonged, agonizing depression that dooms the world to decades of stagnation, decline, and poverty, or an intense but short depression that paves the way for the new, sustainable economic world order with less sovereignty but more efficiency. The information takes an added weight when one considers that the fact that Estulin's previous economic forecasts, which were based on leaks from the same sources, have proven deadly accurate. Estulin correctly predicted the housing crash in 2008 financial meltdown as a result of what his sources inside Bilderberg told him the elite were planning based on what was said at their 2006 meeting in Canada and 2007 conference in Turkey. Details of the economic agenda were contained in a pre-meeting booklet handed out to Bilderberg members. On a more specific note, Estulin warns that Bilderberg are fostering a false picture of economic recovery, suckering investors into plowing their money, same thing in 2006, back in the stock market again, only to later unleash another massive downturn, which will create massive losses and searing financial pain in the months ahead, according to the Canadian Free Press report. According to Estulin, Bilderberg is assuming that U.S. unemployment figures will reach around 14% by the end of the year. They're already really at 18, folks. Almost doubling the current figure of 8.1%. That's the Cook number. Estulin's sources also tell him that Bilderberg will again attempt to push for the enactment of the Libson Treaty, a key centerpiece of the agenda to fully entrench the federal EU superstate by forcing the Irish to vote again on the document that in September and October, despite having rejected it already, along with the European nations in national referendums. I'm going to read more of this coming up when I get more into detail at the bottom of the hour. I've got some other news I want to cover first. But here's the issue. Everything Estulin's saying is already in Parliament meetings. I watch online. The European Parliament has their own stinking YouTube channel, just like Obama does. But it's helpful because I've sat and watched hours of it, and there's hours of debate every day. There's no way for anybody to watch it all. But you should go watch it and see what you can find. I mean, it's unbelievable. They openly announce world government, world taxation, world regulation, a new world superstate run by a Bank of the World that'll tax everything we do, world taxing authorities, tax rates of 80% globally, how they're going to force in September, if they can, another Libson Treaty vote, not just in Ireland, but they're going to try in several other nations. We just talked to Estulin. He said he will come on. Estulin just had twins a year ago. He's been very hard to get on since then, but he promised that before Bilderberg he would come back on. When I talked to him a few weeks ago, Rob just talked to him. He said he will come on. He is out with his kids. He gave us the publicist number. Did you talk to him on the phone?
Yeah. I talked to him on his cell phone.
Did you twist his arm?
I didn't have to twist his arm. I just invited him on. He said yes, he'd love to come on.
Yeah, that's what he did. He's gentlemanly. He's in Spain. He lives in Spain now. But the point is, that's what you need to call him up.
Mm-hmm.
Give me his number.
Well, I have his number.
No, it's fine, but let me have the number. I'm going to call him during the break. I want him on today.
Okay.
And I understand it doesn't even matter. You watch the European Parliament, they admit all this anyways. But I want to get him on.
All right.
And the publicist, listen, I know he said he wants to come on. Did you tell him you want him on today?
Yeah.
Did he say he do it today?
Well, he said he was in the middle of the street with his kids on his cell phone. So that's what he told me.
But I do stuff in the middle of the street with my kids on a cell phone all the time, too. Oh, listen.
But you're an amazing superhuman.
Oh, yeah, I am. Oh, yeah, I'm superhuman. Give me a break. Dude, I tell you what, you're an amazing superhuman. Anyways, will you just, I don't know, it's all the thrill of the chase. Once it doesn't even matter. Will you call him back and say, look, Alex says this is hot. He really wants you on now with full details.
Okay.
Even if it's 10 minutes, we'll get him on next week or whenever he wants. Just tell him, give me 10 minutes of the next 3 hours.
Okay.
Just please. Thank you. Launch operations. You know what? Call Tucker up. Let's get Tucker's response to this too. I'm sure he's out smoking cigarettes at American Free Press in their garden, as they say across the pond, where free speech has been totally banned. Okay, I'm now all over the map. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a controlled depression. Just like we have George Soros at the Davos, Switzerland meeting 2 months ago, kind of the public Bilderberg group meeting. That's what it is, the public face of Bilderberg. And he's there and he says, yeah, we've plunged gas prices, oil prices artificially to bankrupt Venezuela, Russia, and the Middle East to help bring in the world depression. And then he got in mainstream news 2 weeks ago and said, I'm having a great crisis. This is the culmination of my life and my work, and starts bragging how he's involved engineering it. And that was in scores of papers because that was in a press conference. Just Google George Soros, I'm having a great crisis. This is the type of stuff this guy does. And then meanwhile, we've got Bilderberg being talked about by Becky. And of course, he said he's going to get to the bottom of Bilderberg. No, does it exist? I'm sure he'll tell us in a month. I looked at it. I really wanted to believe it existed. It doesn't exist. Or, I've got a straw man for you. I'm going to tell you if the camps exist. A month later, I'm sorry, they don't exist. I've got a straw man for you. The government admits they exist, but I'll go to one kook thing that Alex has been exposing for a decade and Will hanging around his neck.